A blessed day, a blessed Sunday to everyone, especially our fellow worshipers who are joining us through this live streaming. One said that the clearest way to show what the rule of law means to us in everyday life is to recall what has happened when there is no rule of law at all. Written by Dwight Eisenhower. Now, that we can see the importance of law when we compare it to situations that there are no rule of law at all. Take just for example the traffic rules. No? If anything goes, when no one obeys the traffic rules, diretso lang kahit walang hinto, kahit red na, patakbong walang limit, hihinto kahit saan, there is chaos, anarchy, and even violence, loss of life, or even economic loss because of unruly behavior in that simple fact of life of traffic. No? Sabi nga nila, there is a study that because of traffic here in Manila, we lost millions, 100 millions a day because of that. No? Probably because also of our disrespect for laws. The first reading today from the book of Deuteronomy, where we find a beautiful appreciation of the law, its importance. And as it says there, for the law becomes the expression of the wisdom and intelligence of God's people, and for the people and nations to see and hear. And the law becomes now the proof and the expression of God's special bond, special relationship with His chosen people. As they would say, as it expresses there, nations will say with envy, no, this great nation is truly wise and intelligent people. And Moses continues, for what great nation is there that has God so close to it as Lord, our God? It is to us whenever we call upon Him. Or what great nation has statutes and decrees that are just as this whole law which I am setting before you today? In other words, the law which Moses presented to God's people is important, significant, because it comes from God and it helps them live intelligently and wisely their life as a people. And it is an expression of their correct relationship with God, who made a covenant with them. So we see here the importance of the law, because at times we have the impression as if that Jesus did away the law in the Old Testament. Far from it. The basic understanding of justice is the fulfillment of what is lawful, what is law. What is the law? What dictates the law? And we will see later on that Jesus is observant of the law. So this is seconded, for example, this idea is seconded by the responsorial psalm today, which says, the one who does justice will live in the presence of the Lord. It becomes a kind of a condition for one to be admitted to His presence, the capacity to live according to the law of the Lord. No. As I've said, one becomes acceptable to God by observing and living according to the law, which is the minimum of justice. Even that, the rule of law, the minimum of justice, the minimum of love, no, is missing in our relationship at times, or even in society. Now, the gospel, on the other hand, proposes another way of looking at law, that is a vision of law that moves beyond the literal and the externals of the law. Jesus points this out in the context of that strict, literally interpretation of the law by the Pharisees. Now, the problem with this perspective is that, yes, we may fulfill all the dictates of the law, literally, scrupulously, but in spite of that, our interiority may be altogether contrary to what we profess externally. So the Lord is inviting us today to consider more our interiority, our kalooban, where the authentic encounter with God and with one another happens. For it is in our hearts, in our interiority, in our kalooban, where we can truly meet the Lord. And on the other hand, as the gospel would say, because also here comes the evil thoughts and all kinds of evil. I know that we have all our own share of hypocrisy and inauthenticity. It would be untrue to say I am not hypocrite, because in one way or the other, or at some moment of our lives, we must have been hypocrite and inauthentic.